Emma stood in the hallway of the rustic Vermont lodge, her ivory dress shimmering softly in the golden hour light. Through the arched doorway, she could see the rows of chairs filled with friends, co-workers, and extended relatives, all smiling, some teary-eyed. The quartet was playing a gentle version of Can't Help Falling in Love. The scent of pine and lavender hung in the air. Everything was perfect, except for the two empty chairs in the front row. She had reserved them for her parents, Beverly and Thomas McAllister, with little gold place cards that read, Mother of the Bride and Father of the Bride. Now, 30 minutes past the scheduled time, they were still not here. Emma checked her phone again. Nothing. No call. No text. She stared at the lock screen. The last message from her mom had been 3 days ago. Don't stress too much, sweetie. Savannah has a shoot in Malibu this weekend. We're figuring things out. Emma had laughed at the time. Figuring things out sounded like something Beverly always said when she was choosing Savannah over her. Hey, came a warm voice behind her. Jake, her soon-to-be husband, approached in his tailored navy suit, his tie slightly askew. He gently fixed a strand of her hair and gave her a soft smile. Everything okay? She hesitated. They're not here. His face fell. Still. Emma nodded. Jake exhaled, looked down, then met her eyes. Do you want to wait a bit longer? No, she said. Her voice was steady, but her chest ached. They made their choice. They walked down the aisle together, a break from tradition, but a decision they had made months ago. As Emma passed the empty seats, she didn't blink. But inside, something twisted, then snapped. 2 hours later, after the champagne toast and dancing, Emma found herself standing alone in the bridal suite. Her phone buzzed. Mom. Sorry, we couldn't make it today. Savannah's shoot ran longer than expected. It's her big moment. You'll understand someday. Hope the ceremony went beautifully. That was it. No apology. No phone call. No emotion. Just Savannah. Always Savannah. Emma's fingers curled tightly around the phone. Her thumb hovered over the reply button. She wanted to scream, to beg for an explanation, to ask why she wasn't worth showing up for. But she didn't. She simply smiled and deleted the message. Growing up, Emma had always known her place. Savannah was the star, the youngest, the golden girl. Pageants, commercials, private coaches. Beverly was her manager before she was her mother. Thomas just went along with it, quietly writing the checks. Emma? She got the hand-me-down dresses, the forgotten birthdays, that we'll celebrate next weekend. Honey, promises that never happened. And now, even on her wedding day, her once-in-a-lifetime moment, she'd been passed over again. Emma sat down at the vanity. She wiped her lipstick, removed the pearl earrings she'd bought herself because her parents weren't sure what her style was anymore. She stared at her reflection for a long time. Then she opened her laptop. She began typing not a diary entry, not a letter, but something more precise. A plan. An outline of every asset tied to the McAllister family name. A digital trail of how she'd contributed to the family's home design business for 8 years, unpaid. The hours she managed bookkeeping while Savannah got spa days. The marketing campaigns she created that used her photos, her words, but Savannah's face. They thought they knew who Emma was. They were wrong. The Malibu coastline glimmered in the afternoon sun as Beverly McAllister adjusted her oversized sunglasses and clapped her hands. Savannah, sweetheart, arch your back a bit more. Chin up. Gorgeous. The photographer clicked rapidly while assistants bustled around with reflectors and wind machines. Savannah turned, blonde waves cascading over her shoulders. Is this the right angle for the dress? She asked, her tone saccharine but sharp, the kind she used when she wanted something. Perfect, Beverly replied, already snapping behind-the-scenes shots for Instagram. This is going to be everywhere. Your big moment, baby. Thomas stood silently beside the catering table, sipping from a can of sparkling water. He knew better than to interfere. He had once tried to suggest they cancel a shoot for Emma's high school graduation. That had led to 3 days of tears and the silent treatment. Since then, he learned his place. No one mentioned Emma's wedding that day. No one even brought up the date. 15 years earlier, the McAllister living room had looked very different. Emma was 12, Savannah was 7. Emma had just won first place at her county science fair, a solar-powered water purifier built from recycled bottles. She stood proudly in front of the judges, holding her certificate, hoping for a dinner celebration or even a "we're proud of you." But when she got home, the house was empty. Everyone was at Savannah's ballet recital. She found the note on the fridge. We didn't want to interrupt your big day. There's pizza money on the counter. XO Mom. She had eaten alone. just like she had on her 14th birthday and her 16th. Even prom night, Beverly had been in Atlanta with Savannah for a Teen Vogue audition. Emma hadn't always resented her sister. In the beginning, she had adored her, braided her hair, defended her from bullies, helped her memorize scripts. But the love became warped, shaped by years of comparison and invisibility. Beverly never saw it. To her, Savannah was the natural talent. Emma was the quiet one. Savannah was the model, the personality, the product. Emma was the support beam, necessary but never admired. When Emma got into NYU on a partial scholarship, Beverly barely blinked. "Oh, honey, but you'll be so far away. What if Savannah books a New York shoot and needs help?" Emma went anyway. She got a job, studied marketing, built her skills in silence. She never asked for help. After graduation, she returned home for what she thought would be a few months. That turned into years. Her parents needed help with their boutique home renovation business, and she stepped in, redesigned their branding, handled customer support, built their website, boosted online revenue. Savannah, meanwhile, had 2 commercials and a failed reality show appearance. But Beverly still introduced her at events as our little star. Emma was the techie one. Back in Malibu, as Savannah reviewed the photo previews with the team, Beverly's phone buzzed. She glanced at it. A missed call from Emma. Then another. She frowned, then sighed. "Is it Emma again?" Savannah asked, not looking up. "Yes. She's probably wondering if we're coming." Savannah laughed, then took a sip of her cucumber water. "God, Mom. It's not like she's dying. It's just a wedding." Beverly hesitated, then typed. "Sorry we couldn't make it today." Savannah's shoot ran longer than expected. "It's her big moment. You'll understand someday." She didn't even add a heart emoji. Meanwhile, Emma read the message 3 times. "It's her big moment." She whispered it aloud. Let the words sit in her mouth like acid. Her entire life had been shaped around someone else's moments. But now she had a new clarity. This wouldn't be another chapter where she cried alone. This time, she'd write the ending. Not for revenge. For justice. And freedom. The next morning, the Vermont sky was painted with soft fog and dew. Birds chirped faintly in the pines beyond the lodge windows, but inside the bridal suite, Emma sat at the edge of the bed, still in her silk robe, her hair unbrushed, her phone silent. She hadn't cried. Not yet. She stared at the wedding bouquet, now wilting slightly on the nightstand. The ivory roses were beginning to droop. Something about that felt poetic. Jake had left early for a brief meeting with his parents, who had flown in from Chicago. They had loved the ceremony. They had cried. His mother had hugged Emma tighter than Beverly ever had. And yet, even in the joy, there had been a void, a glaring one. Emma had felt it in every toast, every photo, every glance toward the front row. 2 chairs. Still empty in every picture. She turned to her laptop. The screen glowed softly, revealing a document titled Inheritance Audit, McAllister Holdings. She had stayed up until 3 a.m., combing through contracts, family trust documents, emails, and business accounts. What she discovered had hardened something inside her. Emma wasn't just helping with the family business these past years. She had been legally listed as a co-founder of McAllister and Daughters Home Design, thanks to an old LLC form Thomas had filed when they were looking for tax breaks. Her name was on it, and that meant leverage. Before packing her bag, Emma reached for a pen and a cream-colored note card, the same ones used for table settings the night before. She began to write. Dear Jake, this isn't what you think. I'm not leaving you. I'm leaving the silence, the pretending, the part of me that still believes I'll ever be enough for them. You deserve a wife who isn't haunted by empty chairs. I hope I can become that. I need to find out. Please wait for me, but only if it's truly your choice. I love you. B. She folded the note gently and placed it on his nightstand next to the Polaroid they took at the reception, their foreheads touching, laughing. Then she opened a new note card. Dear Mom and Dad, thank you for not coming. It showed me everything I needed to know. For 30 years I gave you chances. I played small so Savannah could shine. I smiled through forgotten birthdays, canceled holidays, and your unspoken rule that my achievements mattered less. But yesterday was the last time. I'm done being your shadow. Consider this letter a notice. You may hear from my attorney soon. You'll understand why when you remember all those years you let me work, as a favor, the emails, the signatures, the branding contracts I designed under your name. You may have ignored me, but legally, I still exist. You taught me something valuable, though. Silence is power. But so is the truth. And I'm done staying silent. Emma. She placed the letter inside an envelope and sealed it with wax, her own strange little habit she'd picked up during college. One last touch of grace before the storm. Then she stood, packed her laptop, the USB drive with backup documents, and her passport. Yes, she was going far. At the front desk, she handed the clerk the envelope with her parents' name on it. Please forward this to Beverly and Thomas McAllister when they arrive. They'll likely check in today. Of course, the woman said with a polite smile. Anything else we can do for you, Mrs. Parker? Emma paused. Mrs. Parker. She still hadn't fully decided if she would keep the name. Just cancel my spa appointment, she replied, smiling softly. I have a flight to catch. As the taxi pulled away from the lodge, Emma looked out at the mist-covered trees. For the first time in years, she felt weightless. She didn't know exactly where this road would lead, only that she wasn't walking in anyone's shadow anymore. She was done being overlooked. Now, the spotlight was hers, and she intended to use it. 3 months later, the McAllisters were trending on Twitter. It started with a viral TikTok, a stitched video of a podcast clip where a woman in a pale blue blazer told her story calmly, without rage or tears, but with laser precision. She didn't name names. She didn't have to. Her words were enough. I was never the favorite. I wasn't the star, the pretty one, the chosen one. I was the ghost in the family photos. But when they forgot my wedding, because my sister had a modeling shoot, I remembered everything else they owed me. So I did what I was trained to do in silence. I built something. Only this time, I built it for myself. The clip reached 2 million views in less than 48 hours. People flooded the comments. Who else is sobbing and clapping at the same time? This is how you reclaim your narrative. The quiet daughter just burned the house down with a smile. Her name? Emma McAllister, though now, she went by Emma Blake professionally. A rebrand, legally filed and emotionally final. The business fallout was immediate. Emma's attorney had served her parents with an official audit and a cease and desist on using any of the branding assets she had created: website, social media pages, customer lists, taglines, fonts, all registered under her name. Savannah had posted a vaguely passive-aggressive Instagram story about people trying to steal attention, followed by a pouty selfie in a robe. The internet turned on her in a heartbeat. Emma didn't respond. She didn't need to. Instead, she launched the Shadow Project, a platform for women raised in emotionally neglectful families. It offered mentorship, free marketing training, and a podcast titled Unmuted. Within weeks, she had thousands of subscribers, brand partnerships, and press requests. Her inbox was flooded with messages from women who had swallowed their voices for too long. Your story is mine, they wrote. You made me feel seen. You reminded me I can leave, too. Jake, who had waited faithfully, welcomed her back with no conditions. He had seen the letters. He had watched every podcast episode. He never tried to rescue her. He just stood beside her. Their second ceremony was small, a quiet rooftop gathering in Brooklyn, under string lights and city stars. No missing chairs this time. Just chosen family. Months later, Emma received a formal invitation to appear on Morning Talk Live, a national morning show. The producers wanted her for a family redemption segment, offering a surprise reunion with Beverly and Thomas, who had agreed to come. Jake asked her gently, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Emma nodded. "I'm not going for them. I'm going for every girl who's watching." The studio lights were bright, the host overly cheerful. Today, she beamed at the camera. We bring together a daughter who walked away, and the parents she left behind. Can there be forgiveness? Can there be healing? Emma sat tall in her seat, wearing a navy pantsuit and no makeup but lip balm. Her parents were brought in moments later. Beverly looked thinner. Thomas looked older. Emma, Beverly started, her voice trembling. We didn't realize what we'd done. Not fully. Emma looked at her. No hatred. No smile either. You realized, Emma said calmly. You just didn't care. Not enough. The silence in the studio was deafening. I'm not here to fight, Emma continued. And I'm not here to forgive. I'm here to tell the truth. Because when you bury someone's voice for years, the loudest thing they can do is simply speak. That night, the clip aired to millions. Unmuted gained 500,000 new followers. Beverly never returned to managing Savannah's career. The spotlight dimmed. But Emma's? It burned brighter than ever. Not because she wanted revenge. Because she had built something from the silence, and it roared.